What's up, Cyberhawks? It's your man Eric. And in today's video, we're gonna be going over some more AI. AI taking jobs, AI, coming in this new, digital world and just going beast mode. It's going pretty much beast mode right now.
CS majors are cooked. Look at this. There's a startup that's created the first AI software engineer, Devin. Just watch the demo. It is absolutely insane.
Hey, I'm Scott from Cognition AI, and today I'm really excited to introduce you to Devin, the first AI software engineer. Let me show you an example of Devin in action. I'm going to ask Devin to benchmark the performance of Llama on a couple different API providers. From now on, Devin is in the driver's seat. First, Devin makes a step-by-step plan of how to tackle the problem. After that, it builds the whole project using all the same tools that a human software engineer would use. Devin has its own command line, its own code edit, and even its own browser. In this case, Devin decides to use the browser to pull up API documentation so that it can read up and learn how to plug into each of these APIs. Here, Devin runs into an unexpected error. Devin actually decides to add a debugging print statement, reruns the code with the debugging print statement, and then uses the error in logs to figure out how to fix the bug. Finally, Devin decides to build and deploy a website with full styling as the visualization. You can see the website here.
It basically made that on its own. So Devin can plan, use the command line, code editor, browse the web. Yeah, obviously it's a long way from replacing programmers, but just imagine what this tech will look like in a year from now. Plus, I'm optimistic that this will just make everyone more efficient. I also like how similar to no-code tools, this lowers the barrier of entry so that everyone can create software, which I think is a really good thing. So no, software engineers are not actually cooked, but whoever knows how to use these tools the best will be better at their job. By the way, once I get access to this, I'll be sure to test it out, so follow for those updates. Software engineer.
Okay, interesting. So that was the first one we're looking at, Devin. I've never heard of Devin before, but I'm pretty sure this will be something that a lot of people will end up hearing about, especially when this gets bigger and bigger, especially like in the tech space. I think this is actually, I think this is a great next step for the AI, like to take over. Like, for example, like when I did my chat GPT thing, with the snake, if you guys haven't seen that, you should go ahead and take a look at that. But with the snake game, I just use ChatGPT to create it with Python, and I believe I would use a Python, and then I would just repeat it. Like, I mean, not repeat it, but like when I would have errors, I would screenshot the errors and I show it to it, and it would try to fix it. I would do it like a few times until they get it right. And, that took a minute or so, but I mean, it was a whole lot faster than me actually trying to type it all in. And now pretty much having that all automated, like we're seeing here, where, you have the, your command, or you have, like, I guess your goal for that type of software. And then it being able to not only code it, but also troubleshoot it, but also go online to like look at other stuff as well. Yeah. I can just imagine how fast it's going to end up being a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. So yeah, right now, again, it may not be taking all the jobs, but I can definitely see it taking some jobs. And also too, this is another great way for people who don't know how to code, something that they can utilize so that they can start creating stuff. And for people who can code, if they can get on some of the AI stuff right now, they'll just be better. They'll just have a better chance, because not only do they already know the technical ability of, all the years they spent coding, but now you have something else that can help you out, so you can be even more efficient, even faster to somebody who, is just coming out of the blue with something. So I'm definitely intrigued to see where Devin's going to end up being, next year, 2 or 3 years from now. So definitely let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. And yeah, hopefully we can make some more videos talking about Devin in the future. If I can find a way to like test it out too, I would love to do so. I mean, that would be fun. All right, next up, let's go ahead and see what this guy's talking about.
Came out. And so the CEO of Anthropic just did an interview, and he came out and he's really ringing the alarm on what many of us think is what is potentially going to happen anyway. And he said, and I quote, AI could eliminate up to 50% of entry level white collar jobs within the next 5 years, potentially raising the national unemployment rate to 10 to 20%. And this is very different than what the World Economic Forum talked about in their 2025 jobs report. But they talked about like a 14 million net job loss. That basically out of the 673 million jobs that they tracked, it was only about a 2% net loss. That's 83 million jobs lost and 69 million jobs created. But the only way we get to slowing down the rate of job displacement is by being able to upskill and reskill. The only way we offset job displacement is by investing in education, investing in literacy, investing in teaching people how to do this. Most of the education around artificial intelligence is geared towards computer scientists anyway. Very few entry level understanding around how I use a generative AI tool. And so we are going to need widespread. I mean, we're going to need like a New Deal, Roosevelt, GI Bill type of policy around educating the workforce when it comes to slowing down the disruption of generative AI.
Okay, I actually think that's a valid thing that we could actually do. I know China, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say like I seen like a headline saying that they're teaching like everybody like beginning in elementary like AI. I don't know like how intense they're getting into AI. Like, is it like the generative things? Is it like is what more machine learning? I don't know exactly what aspects of AI or just maybe AI in general. And then as you get older, you can specialize in different parts. But yeah, they're already ahead of the curve right there. And yeah, if that's something that America could do, I think that would be fantastic. Do I, from what I've been seeing, throughout all these years, I don't really think that's going to happen, unfortunately. But yeah, I think if America was like super serious about just dominating in this field right now and like not having so many people getting displaced, oh man, yeah, that could be something that in elementary you're required to learn, some of this. Yeah, this displacement would go down. We will have a whole lot of higher educated people or highly technical people in the workforce that can create, all of these different things and can utilize all of this new technology that's coming out because it's growing so fast right now. And if they're learning it, in elementary and learning like new things throughout, I think they would have a higher chance of doing well in this digital world. But yeah. Right now, it's looking like people who, if you're a kid and your parents are very technical, or you have like a parent who's very technical, I'm pretty sure they're teaching them a lot of the different tech things. And, whenever I have kids in the future, also, I'm going to be doing the same, teaching them a lot of this like technical stuff early on so that there's won't, ha- well, so it'll be like a less chance that they'll be displaced by some of this stuff. I don't know how all this AI and all this stuff's going to end up being like in 10, 20 years, but I think still having some of that knowledge and making it fun, that's the big thing. Making this technical stuff fun when you're young so that when you're older, it's just fun. It's like, okay, it could be challenging, but I'm looking at this as a fun challenge, not something that's too hard. I'm just going to give up. I think that's a big thing right there too. Well, a lot of people who are like 20, 30, you got people 30 right now already giving up like, oh man, I'm stuck at the job for the rest of my life. But it's like, no, you can still learn other things. It may be hard, it may be challenging, but you can still learn. So I think, given that, foundation early on can help out a lot and just making learning and, learning about technical things fun, I think can help out a lot. But yeah, I think he gets some good insight right there. Next up, let's go ahead and see what he's talking about with the AI displacement. And let me share the screen here.
Replacing. I just got my first taste of AI potentially replacing me. Do marketing for this client and they asked me to research some AI marketing tools. And then I realized that the one I'm researching that they asked me to would probably replace me because I don't know how much it would be worth it for them to continue paying me if they use this service. So I'm basically the architect of my own demise. I'm actually doing research to find the AI to replace me, which is really weird.
Oh wow. Wow. That is crazy. Like that reminds me like that isn't something necessarily new because I've seen plenty of stories of people who are in a job and they have to teach like the newer recruits in the company, the new hires, and those new hires going to end up taking over their job. So pretty much you're getting paid, like your last month or so of money to train somebody else to replace you at a cheaper price. So yeah, I mean, it does suck that, he's experiencing this and this is with AI instead of another human, but I have been seeing this. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen videos and content as well if you've been online about people, again, higher up having to train their new hires, below them. And then they, lose their job, of course, and the new hires are getting paid less. It's like the companies is like realizing that they're paying, this guy a whole lot of money for being here for so long where they can just get the new hire person who, knows less and pay them. I mean, who knows less or knows about the same, but can pay them less and can get trained by somebody who does know it and using like tech and whatnot. They can rep themselves up about the knowledge. So yeah, that does suck. But yeah, we have seen that with people. So now we got the AI doing it now. First we had the new hires being humans, now the new hires being the AI. So what's going to come after that? we will see. And lastly, guys, let's go ahead and play this one here. Let's see what she's talking about. Got a lot of pop-ups right there. People liking the videos. I'm glad. And yeah, let's see.
Theory started with the Industrial Revolution, and I just did a whole deep dive that I'm going to be posting on my YouTube about that because it's actually insane how each lever of advancement of technology has led to commodifying some type of human trait that we thought would be irreplaceable by technology. So it started with our craftsmanship. So we all used to have this artistic output. That's why a lot of people were like cobblers and blacksmiths, and our identity was tied to the way that we used to do our work. You were what you did, and you had a purpose because people needed these things. But the Industrial Revolution led to commodifying this and focusing on one task per person, which took away our ability to craft unique goods and made us almost like machines themselves. Because of this displacement for blue-collar jobs, we started to see the advancement within white-collar jobs. And we thought that our ability to reason and our ability to understand and have nuance in thought would be something that technology couldn't replace. A lot of people went into medicine. That's why a lot of people became lawyers. And we started to see this as a social kind of level that people wanted to achieve because it gave us status. During the 1940s to even like 2010, we started to see the way that technology was taking this away from us as well. We saw this with the early stages of AI, which led us into the era that we're in today, where we thought our soft skills would be something that technology wouldn't be able to replace because the way technology worked during that time period was that there had to be rules that regulated the way technology functioned. That's why we've seen such a big boom in customer success, in therapy, having these ability to empathize and be somebody who was of great value within the service side of the industry was something that was not going to be able to be replaced by technology because it's something that you couldn't write a rule for. Every situation was nuanced and unique. But because of the inventions of deep learning, they don't need to write rules anymore for AI to be able to learn things. That's why a lot of people are going to ChatGPT to use it as their therapist because it's starting to learn how to mimic these soft skills that we have as humans. And what this has led to is the AI replacing us. And any type of replacement theory is not good because it automatically dehumanizes whatever group it's targeting, and this dehumanizes the entire human species. So learning about the way that each revolution kind of impacted us and how people stood against this, and now where we're at today and what we're seeing other tech companies doing and how they've been promising us to make a better future and how that's not really happening, and how it's coming down to really just replacing us for money is really interesting. I'll be posting my deep dive in the next couple of days. Make sure you subscribe to go through the whole thing. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. And if you were able to see these red flags when you were learning about these different stages and advancements for technology, because if you look at the Industrial Revolution, you can see that this kind of was the plan all along. Because each level started attacking everything that we had security in. And that's why we see tech tying our identity into who we're working as today.
Okay. Okay. Definitely some good insights there. I think with this is, definitely pros and cons, like there's technology in general. Like the more technical it can get, yeah, you may lose some of the human side of it, but you're more efficient and you're faster. And we're like at this point now where we're competing against everybody. With the AI, it's like, yeah, let's say we just banned it here in the US. We got all the other countries, you got China, India, et cetera, still honing in and utilizing AI to advance and get better. So it's like, you kind of have to. And I like when I was hearing her, it kind of just reminded me of like warfare. Like, we had our hands, then you get like the stones, and you get the spears, then you get the swords, and we got machine guns and nukes. Like we got more nukes and things bigger than nukes. And like, it's like unfortunately, like that happens with progress. Like you get to that point. And I guess the AI now is more like the nuke, in terms of if you're kind of just thinking of it as in like warfare. And it's like, okay, let's ban all guns in the whole entire world. Well, let's ban all guns in America and all nukes here. And then everybody else, hopefully they'll also ban all their guns and nukes, like, for their soldiers and different stuff. Like, unfortunately, it just won't happen. We can be like, hey, everybody, nukes are bad. We're going to destroy all weapons. Weaponry is bad. Let's go back to swords. We can say that, but if we went all back to swords, all the other countries right here, like, bet they only got swords now. We got guns. We got tanks. We can demolish and, destroy you guys. So, yeah, it's like we're at this point with the AI side of things. It's like we're already here now. Either we can find ways to work with it, to grow and to, build new things with it, or you're just going to be left behind and dominated by other people, unfortunately. But anyway, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I want to hear your guys' thoughts was AI replacement theory and other things about AI taking over different tech and other, job markets. Where do you see things within like this next year, next 5 years, next 10 years? I'm definitely intrigued to, hear you guys' thoughts. Also, too, what are you guys' thoughts of like when the AI start getting to like physical bodies, like you have like more machines with the AI tech where it could then interact in the physical world a whole lot more easy. What are your thoughts on that? Definitely want to hear in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.